the guy who had it wanted to get rid of it, and he'd had to move stuff out of the barn and sold the property, and put an offer in. It was dry, you could see through the seams. It's an old cedar on oak boat, and the guy who owned it claimed that Jimmy Steele of Peapod building fame had built it, and he also claimed it was a Joel White design. I couldn't really tell if it was a Joel White design. The style, the details and styling looked like Jimmy's work, and whatever the case, I liked the boat. It looked good. I didn't know how it would perform, so we bought it and spent part of the winter bending some additional frames. So I decided to replicate it after driving it around for a couple of years. It was a bit like driving a Model A around. You had to baby it sometimes, and I wanted something that would be stiffer, but the boat performed well. And talking with Tom Hill, we talked a bit about doing glued lap construction, which is his sort of preference in some ways, but decided that a strip built construction would lend itself to the shape and also be fairly easy for other people to build.
Here we have a 15'6" Joel White designed outboard skiff. It has the shape of a little lobster boat when you see it right side up. It was built by Jim Steele in the early 70s, not sure exactly which year. It's a traditional plank-on frame construction. It's a great little boat, and there are no plans for it. Plans seem to have gotten lost. So our mission here was to take the lines off of this existing hull.
Yeah, now that we took the lines off of that boat, and we were able to, from our lines, create a full-size body plan on the loft floor and create a full-size drawing. These lines are hard to see, but they represent the boat as best we could measure it. So we have all of our documentation on the line, body plan, profile, and half width view. And from that we can make molds. And we have set up our molds on our strong back, and it's now ready to have the stem and transom built, and then we'll start planting it.
Steering gear was something we ended up, I had a small console in the old boat with a back on it for whoever was sitting in the seat in front. I didn't really want to have a console in the boat. In a boat this size, a console takes up a lot of space that you can't afford. And Tom and I were sort of around about what we should do, how to have the steering gear. And he had this piece of pipe. We ended up using the same Teleflex gear below, that's just off the shelf from the marine supply store, and retrofitting that. We had a custom shaft machine that would marry to the Teleflex gear, because those are made really to come right through a bulkhead or through the top of the console, and then had the wheel just put onto that piece, which runs down the middle of this pipe. It's very easy. Bus drivers deal with it every day. This boat is lighter than the old one. I don't know by how much, but you can probably see in some of the videos, pops up very quickly onto a plane. The old boat was a little more like an old Volvo station wagon. It took its time getting up to speed. With one person in this boat, I can make, with the 20 horsepower, I can do 25, 26 miles an hour fairly readily. The old boat probably maxed out at about 21. Some of that's also due to the clean running surface and just the stiffness of the boat as well. And Tom's an advocate for having really a sharp, trailing edge between the bottom and the transom as you can get. He feels that lets the boat actually get up a lot easier and plane out easier.